We were talking yesterday about, Indiana has the largest student section in college basketball, 7,200, which is double of most, triple of some, probably triple of Duke's, as a matter of fact. But I don't know that you can tell it. Part of it is Assembly Hall is not a great viewing unless you're in like the 35th row and below. Once you start going beyond that, it starts getting bad. And you get in a balcony and it's like, man, somebody send me a telegram. It's boy.
I can't say I've been up there. The Assembly Hall has a unique architecture. There's no question about that. And it's presented challenges in various ways. When I was younger, before they reconfigured so that they had an actual TV position, it was the worst place to watch a game on television. Like to be a spectator on television, that's the last place you wanted the game to be. I mean, because the camera position was so low that it was almost like you were like looking at sneakers the whole time. You couldn't see anything. You just saw heads and sneakers. It was awful. But they fixed that. It does present some challenges because there's no natural place to put the students other than behind the basket, and then they have some on the sides. I do think that the students there get some excellent seats, especially the seniors. I believe they're the ones that bleed over into the sideline. They get some excellent seats, and I think that they present when the game is right and the fans are wired for it. They do still provide an outstanding home court advantage. I watched a Carolina team come in there maybe 5 years ago that was bound for the national championship, and they could barely move. I mean, they were completely discombobulated.
Roy Williams talked about that very thing afterwards. That game, I think he mentioned he wished that their fans would be like that, except for the Duke game. That wished that their fans were like that.
Right. Exactly. So they have that ability to do that. I think that what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a developing team under a new coach, and there haven't been a high number of coveted games yet. They're coming, hopefully, with everything. Once we get through this, and hopefully there won't be too many postponements. I think that you'll see that. What they've had at home right now has been Nebraska and St. John's, and then the bye games. And so there hasn't been a lot for them to get super wired up about. I think when the games start to come in and Purdue comes in and some of those, this is a good enough team to challenge the best teams in the league, especially at home. And I think that the fans will deliver the greatest advantage they can possibly deliver.
I think part of this, that's exactly right. I agree. Winning solves a lot, period. And when you go back in the days of night when they were just winning all the time, well, yeah, it was a monster. You could not come in there. And it is very, very loud because of how it's designed, because it's designed as two theaters facing each other, basically. It wasn't designed for basketball. And the reason you loved it because the sight lines, it had no blockage, none. And back in that time, I guess that was hard to come by. But it's, oh man, I just wish they would have had when they read Simon Skjodt came in and gave the $40 million. There was a decision. They were trying to decide, do they build a new arena or do they redo Assembly Hall? And Fred Glass just thought that with the history and all of that, and I that's a hard decision. I've been hard on him about stuff, but I can't. I don't know that I'd want to be the guy that took Assembly Hall down. So it is a difficult thing, but it's not like Purdue, Mackey. That's a tough place to play in, and great configuration, a nice, perfect bowl. Now Indiana could have the same thing, just a little bit bigger, 17,000. You can make it bigger.
Yeah, but when you're in a bowl configuration, again, the further away you get from the court, when you make it bigger, you start to lose that. You start to lose that intimacy. There aren't a lot of bowl type arenas that are that large that retain that sort of feeling, that intimacy, and that you're on top of the fans. I think that it's, like I said, I don't think I would have removed, if I had the 40 million and I had the decision to make, I don't think I would have abandoned Assembly Hall. I thought it was important to make it a comfortable viewing experience for television, because that's such a big part of how the product is consumed now, so to speak. How fans participate television, whether you want to call, whether it's streaming or cable or whatever, television, the viewing experience at home is enormous, and they fixed that. When you're there, I don't feel there's anything missing. Again, I haven't had to sit in the last row or whatever, but I've sat pretty far up. The press row is not where it was when I've made my first trip to Assembly Hall back in.
Have you sat up in the? Have you sat in the upper press area?
Yes, I have.
Well, that's as bad as that. That's as bad as it gets, basically, and because it's the last three rows. So even if you're in the first of those last three rows, you're up there. So that's as bad as it gets on the main section. And the balcony is literally right above you. You could almost punch it with your hand.
Right.
But yeah, oh well. It is what it is. It's not going anywhere.